Hello and welcome to the studio. If you want to see the video in French, just click on the link that will appear here. I made two videos, one in English, one in French. This one is the English one. We meet again this week in front of the 5150, this IBM first PC that was ever created. And today we will discuss about the card I was ready to present last time, but I could not because this PC went wrong. So here is the card I want to talk about. What is this card? This card is a lot of things. If you see on the desk, there is the hard disk controller for this computers, and I did replace it with a XT-IDE card. So it is this model that you may know. It's the light model that costs the lowest, and it uses compact flash cards. And you know that XT-IDE are not always working on all the PCs that you try them on. So for example, I have a second one here because the lit one does not work on many PC, and this one works in some other PC. And I have other version of this XT-IDE on other PCs because both those ones do not work. So it's all the purpose, the first purpose of this card. Not only because this card is called PicoMEM, because the goal of this card was to add memory to a PC. So imagine you get your 5150 with only 256 kilobyte of memory. This card should be able to bring it to 640 kilobyte just by using the memory that is on the card. And moreover, it will bring hard disk functionality to the PC. So, and we will see that this card is also able to emulate the floppy disk. So it means that we can remove many of those cards from this IBM 5150. Unfortunately, it's still in development, so it is not able to upgrade the memory from 256 kilobyte to 640 yet, but it will come in the future. But it's better, I think, that I disassemble this 5150 and that we try the card inside. And I will show you what we can do with it. Before we jump to the installation in the 5150, I would like to discuss a bit about how this card was made. So we have two different releases that are quite the same. I will take the second one because the labels are bigger. So this card has been done by my friend Freddy. You can see here, done by 3DV. And I am also on the credit here because I did help him a bit on the C++ side of the card and doing the bracket, designing and printing the bracket for it. And this card is based on the Pico. What is a Pico? It's not a Raspberry Pi. It's a kind of Arduino Pi. It's a microcontroller that runs at around 200 megahertz, maybe a bit less. I don't know exactly. And this one costs €4.50. So it's very cheap. This brings the card very to a low cost to make it. This card embeds some memory. So here you have the PSRAM. So it's pseudo-static random access memory, meaning this memory has auto-refresh capabilities. So you don't need to have any circuitry to refresh the memory. And this memory is used to expand the PC memory. And the Pi Pico is a dual-core CPU with a special dedicated I/O processor in it. One core is managing the memory, and the other core is doing the rest. And the PIO in this PicoPi is doing the address and the decoding stuff along with the transceiver here. This card, there was some prototype in the past, of course. You see all the connections to the IDE bus so that all the signal can be checked. And in this one, my friend did a mistake and did put the micro SD card on the top of the card because there was not enough room on the side of the card. It has been fixed in the latest release. So it will be available in a blank PCB like this. So you have to solder to source and solder all the components. Or you will be able to buy it fully assembled and ready to be used. There is another version that I did not test yet, which embed a PicoPi with the Wi-Fi capability. I don't know how this works, but probably we can access the Pi using the Wi-Fi. Maybe in the future the Wi-Fi can be used to put the PC on the network, but I'm not pretty sure about that. So now that we have seen what the PicoMEM is, let's install it. First, we will do a little benchmark with the XT-IDE, and we will switch to the PicoMEM to test the performance. Back to the 5150, let's see how it performs with the XT-IDE. I have a small tool that is called disk test that will compute the performance in writing speed, reading speed, and some I/O per seconds. So I will speed up the video because it takes quite a long time. So we can see that the read speed is about 168 kilobytes per second, and the write speed is 118 kilobytes per second. So it's faster than an older hard drive. On this kind of computer, the hard drive is doing around 80 kilobytes per second. So XT-IDE is faster anyway. So I will let the software compute the rest of the performance indicator. That's done. And I will take a screenshot of that, and I will install now the PicoMEM, and we will see how it performs. The PicoMEM is installed. Let's power it up. So we are invited to press the S key, and if you do so, you enter in the BIOS of the PicoMEM. BIOS written by Freddy, and while I am at it, I will put in the description a link to his Twitter account and his YouTube channel also, so that you know who Freddy is. So basically on the first main screen, you see that it displays how much memory the computer has, and then we will cover this one a little later. It's all about memory. So, but we will first begin with the hard drive. So I did select my Amstrad PC 1512 hard disk because it contains more tools. So I will use this one. And if I press escape, the PicoMEM will boot on this virtual hard drive that is for which the file is put on the micro SD. So now let's launch the same tool and see what result it gives. So it's the same, so I will speed it up. So here we go. If you remember, with the XT-IDE that is just in front of the screen here, we got 118 kilobytes per second for write speed. Here we have more than the double of that, 264 kilobytes per second. But if you see the read speed, we are going near the limit of the ISA bus here, nearly 1 megabytes per second with this old PC. We are at 933 kilobytes per second, which is insane for this kind of hardware. Imagine it's how many regular floppies it is per second, the 5-inch one. So you see that we can do a lot better than an XT-IDE for hard disk performance with the PicoMEM. But that's not all. I will let the test finish and I will restart the PC to show you other things like the memory. Back to the main window of the PicoMEM BIOS, we see it's written on the bottom of the screen that it's in early development stage, so not everything will work, but we can check the memory. So first you see on the top some letters that shows that this computer has already the 640 kilobytes of conventional memory. And we have a few settings there. If I do, for example, maximize conventional memory, and I select PSRAM expansion, you see that it populates the right part of the top array with some P. So you see, it's allocating memory to provide 736 kilobytes of memory to the system. We have the ignore memory segment here that you should leave on because even if this CGA card is providing its memory to the PC BIOS, an Hercule card do the same, EGA and VGA card do not show their memory. So if you put this off, the PicoMEM will allocate memory on top of the video memory of the VGA or EGA card, and it will crash. It won't work. But since I have a CGA card, I can put this off. And with those settings selected, I should be able to have a lot of memory. You see, it's emulating high memory. And there is a tool also written by Freddy to have the memory command on the DOS, on this old DOS version that does not provide it by default. And we see that this computer has 657 kilobytes of memory, and the BIOS RAM size is 736 kilobytes. And we can even check it with the tool that has the same name. Let's load the tool. And if we request configuration, the base memory is 736 kilobytes of memory. And we have no EMS memory installed. We can also add another kind of memory, which is EMS. Let's do it. So each time you restart the PC, you can go back to the menu and change the values. I will disable that, and I will select some extended memory. Like this. So now we have EMS memory. We have 2 megabytes of EMS memory on top of the 640 kilobytes of the PC mainboard memory or expansion memory. The EMS emulation of the PicoMEM card is doing exactly the same as this low-tech 2 megabyte EMS expansion card. So we don't need to buy this kind of card anymore. We can use the PicoMEM to do exactly the same things, even if EMS is not really necessary on 8086 or 8088. Now that we have seen the memory, this PicoMEM can also do something else, which is floppy disk emulation. You usually want to use this kind of equipment in your PC or other computer to have a better floppy system emulated on USB. And this Gotek is just a floppy disk emulator, a floppy disk drive emulator. It does not emulate the controller card on the PC. It does emulate only the floppy. So this means that when you run this Gotek on a computer, the speed is exactly the same as the original floppy that was used on the computers. So, and we usually want to use the Gotek to get rid of those 5¼ inch floppy disk, for example, but we are on XT, so the controller does not allow us to use more than 720 kilobytes floppy disk with PCs, and all these limitations are removed by the PicoMEM. If we go to the disk tab, you have I will remove some images here. You have a choice to put a floppy disk either in drive A or drive B. And one of the first limitations that is removed is this one. You don't need to limit yourself to a 720 kilobyte floppy disk. You can even use 1 megabyte, 1.4 megabytes, or even 2.8 megabyte floppy disk with the PicoMEM. It does not depend on the machine on which you put it, and it does not depend on the floppy disk controller. So let's boot this one, for example. Okay, I just boot my my XT PC on a 1.4 megabyte floppy disk, and it works. And the second thing is that since we do not use the floppy disk controller from the XT computer, then we are not limited to the speed of the controller. So the floppy disk are as fast as the HDD can be. I cannot show you because I won't run the disk tool on the floppy disk, but the floppy disk is as fast as a hard drive. So it's really really convenient, and you can put images of unprotected floppies. For example, I will select Grand Prix circuit, for example. I won't tell the PicoMEM to boot on the floppy because it's not bootable. Oh yeah, I did let the EMS memory. Doesn't matter. If we go on the E drive and run the game, it just basically works. And you see how fast the executable was loaded. So, since we have a floppy disk emulator, I can remove another card in the PC. Then I will remove the floppy disk controller, and this will allow me to put another card in this computer. Because by default, the 5150 is completely full. You have the CGA, you have the mouse, the serial port for the mouse, you have the floppy disk controller. Usually you have an expansion memory card to have no more than the 256 kilobyte, and then you have the hard disk controller. So now with the PicoMEM we can remove the hard disk controller and the floppy disk controller and have one IDE port free for something else. Back to the disk menu from the PicoMEM BIOS. You see that I did select an image that is 499 megabyte, and I will explain you why. I'm using the DOS 3.31 that supports a disk of 500 megabytes maximum, so I did create a custom size of 499 megabyte. If we are using compact flash dump, you can use only compact flash of 250 megabyte, because if you try to use a CF that is 520 megabyte, it won't work with the DOS 3.31. So the PicoMEM is here a good choice to have a custom disk size to match the version of the DOS you are using. For example, I have the DOS 6 here, and the limit of the hard disk size for the DOS 6 is 4 gigabyte. So you see that this disk image is just below the 4 gigabyte of size. It's 3.8 gigabyte. So, and you see on the bottom that the options exist to create new disk, but it's not yet active. I cannot go to it. It will be created in the future, and you will be able to create your custom disk size. Currently I'm using PicoMEM to do that. And there is also an advanced tab here to select advanced options for the PicoMEM, but there is nothing in. It will be activated later when the future options will be coded into the BIOS. So I will move the camera and we will talk about the future of the card. As we have seen, this card is working very fine, but is missing some functionalities like the memory for the system with very low amount of base memory, and some things about creating images and things like that. But it's only software things that will come in the near future. For the hardware revision, there will be another revision to fix some problem with the power supply of the PicoP, because it does not always work on all computers. It fails on some Amstrad PCs, and this one will be the future one. I got some information, and the Wi-Fi module on this Pico will be used to provide a network card to the PC. Any 2000 network card. The code has already been written by someone called Kevin, so it will be put into the PicoMEM to support the Wi-Fi with this chip. There is plan also to support the Bluetooth of the card, in order to provide Bluetooth mouse and Bluetooth joysticks. With the network, the card will also provide RTC, so backup memory for the clock. And to do that, the Wi-Fi will be used to contact an NTP server on your network or on internet. There is also a port here, an I2S port to plug a DAC to make music with this PicoMEM. So it will become a sound card. And the plan is to support AdLib, Tandy audio, and CMS sound. And currently, my friend Freddy, who is creating this card, is working on USB code. So it will come in the following weeks. We can then use this USB expansion, and we will be able to plug mouse and keyboard to this PicoMEM. So it will become a mouse controller and keyboard controller too. So that's for the future. So the card won't be available until mid next year, I would say. Expect a 6-month delay to get all the required contracts signed with some online shops. So it won't be available now yet. Now to end the video, I will remove the floppy disk controller from the 5150, and I will use a sound card that is working on this PC. It's a Sound Blaster 16, non-plug and play that is working. It's quite of the few cards that works on this computer. And I will show you a demo that I'm creating full with assembly code, and you will see that. I was helped by Freddy. I'm helping him with the C++ part for the PicoMEM, and he's helping me with my demo using assembler code. So let's move the camera and let's watch this demo. It's not completed yet because I am missing the credit at the end, and there is a few glitches due to a missed IRQ, but I don't know why. But you will see it's promising. So thank you for watching. You can subscribe to the channel if you want, but I won't do any more English video. But by the way, I subtitle all the videos in English too. So I wish you a good day and talk to you later.